Hi there, this is Kevin here. I'm here to show you how to get your insurance license in the state of Florida. First off, I'd like to thank you for watching this presentation. I'm going to try to take you through here pretty quickly on what I found to be the fastest way to get an insurance license for life, health, and variable annuities here in the state of Florida. And what that commonly is referred to is your 215 license. Now, you may be saying to yourself, well, I'm only looking to sell life or I'm only looking to sell health. My recommendation is go ahead and just get the whole thing, because it's really not going to take you that much longer um, to sign up and take the course and do all the required steps to get just the life license or just the health license, as opposed to getting the license that takes care of all of them. So, and the investment is pretty much the same. It's a little bit different, but for the most part, the investment of both time and money is about the same. So real quickly, I'm going to breeze through what the steps are to get your license. Now, I'll have more details in this presentation up ahead, as well as I'm also going to have detailed notes down below that will walk you through exactly what to do to make this as simple as possible. So this is the steps that, and I'm going to show you that in my experience have gotten people licensed the most quickly. I've helped a lot of agents get licensed. My steps are here a little bit different than what the state recommends, which I'll walk through. But I found that this tends to go a little bit faster. And as long as you get them all done, at the end, you get your license anyway. So the first thing to do is sign up for an approved licensing course. And the state has quite a few different pre-licensing courses. I've got a vendor that I've recommended in the past that a lot of people have enjoyed working with, and I'll show you who that is. Then you want to get your fingerprints taken. You have to make sure to use the state's approved vendor, and you will go through more of the details of what to do there. And then you also have to make sure to schedule your exam. And I recommend scheduling your exam even before you finish the pre-licensing course, probably about halfway through. And then you're going to register with the state and apply for your license. And then you go and take a big test and you are licensed. And I found that if you go and you get all that done ahead of time before you go and take the test, the actual processing of it is actually pretty quick. Sometimes it can take a week or two from the time you pass your test to the time you get your license. This is a little faster than normal, but actually when I took my licensing test, I took it on a Friday morning, I remember, and I actually had my license the following day. Yes, on a Saturday, they actually sent me in an email my license, and I don't know if that was from having the computer just know automatically that I was able to do it, or if someone actually was processing on a Saturday at the state. So either way, it can go fairly quickly. So before we get into all that of the exam, I'm going to go ahead and show you what to do to get licensed. I'm going to take you through step by step everything you would need to do to sign up for your license and all the steps you have to take to make this as simple as possible. So the first thing I would recommend doing is go to myfloridacfo.com. And on myfloridacfo.com, you're able to pull up the licensing requirements. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hover over the About page, and then we're going to scroll down here to Insurance Agent Licensing. And that's going to take us to this page. It's going to have all kinds of different resources on what you need to do. And you can go over here to Agents and Adjusters, go under Requirements. And the reason that you're looking at agents and adjusters is if you're looking to become an agent or work for an agency. An agency, just so you know, in case you're not familiar, is the entity of a business, whereas an agent is the person working in the business. So even if you're going to become an agency owner, you still have to be licensed as an agent if you're going to be the one selling the business. And you do need to have a license if you are looking to sell life insurance or health insurance in the state of Florida. So what you're going to do is come over to this little section here where it says, what license do I need? And they're going to show you all the different types of licenses. And again, I'm going to recommend that there's one particular license that you should get. And my computer's going a little bit slow. You just want to say here that we want to be an agent, a resident of Florida, for life, health, and variable annuities, so I want to get the 215 license. And now it's coming over here and showing us the documentation of what we need to get the 215 license, which you do have to be a natural person, at least 18 years of age. Now, I'm not sure what an unnatural person is, but you do have to be a natural person and be at least 18 years old. You do have to be a resident of the state of Florida. If you're not a Florida resident, Florida has, with most states, a reciprocal agreement, meaning that if you have a license in your home state, for example, if you live in Texas, you can still get a Florida license as a non-resident, but you have to first have your Texas license. Then you have to also basically just be legally able to work in the United States. And then once you've met those minimum requirements, then the next thing you would do is sign up for your licensing course. Now, there's a few different ways you can get around that, which you can read this here on your own if you'd like. But what I'm going to show you is there's a whole bunch of different pre-licensing courses you could take. And most people are going to have to take the pre-licensing course. There were some exceptions on that other page of different situations where you wouldn't have to take your pre-licensing course. But what I'm going to show you is that pre-licensing courses here for life, health, and variable annuities, on this little report card, so to speak, here, it's going to show us the different pass rates for various companies. Now, you're going to see that there's colleges that do it, there's private companies that do the pre-licensing education. Now, the overall pass rate in the state is about 50%. Now, here you can see where it says pass rate. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit to make it easier for you to see. Now, you can see there's a lot hovering in the 40s and the 50s, some hitting the 60s. Now, be careful if you see some that are in like the 80s, like this one here. This particular school only had 6 people take it. Now, they may be a great school, but it's not a necessarily representative sampling. So I would look at one of the ones that has quite a few different students taking it. This one here is 2,600. Students have taken 49%, this one 56%, so they're right around the average. Now, what I'm recommending folks to do, and I've tried a few different schools, is right over here, License Coach. Now, you see their pass rate is 72%, and this 27.79%, that's fail rate. Now, they have a much higher than average pass rate. They've had 1,400 students in 2014 when these numbers were taken. Take the test, and roughly 3/4 of their students who took the state exam passed it, which is well above average. So they're giving their students a better chance of passing. So their website is licensecoach.com, and again, I've got a link down below. So if you go to their website, and this is the one that I recommend agents go to sign up. Now go to licensecoach.com, and as my computer loads, now they've got the licensecoach.com, but it also forwards to licensecoach.com without a the, but either way it's going to take you to the same place. Then what you would do is go over here to sign up. And the thing I like about License Coach is what I think is the reason also that they have better than average closing rates is that the curriculum isn't just reading. They also have videos. They have flashcards. A lot of the people I know that have taken their course have found it to be a lot more engaging. Some of the other courses out there are just text, which is just reading. So I would definitely recommend looking into License Coach. I mean, you can go with whoever you like, but they are the one I recommend. They're a good company to work with. If you go over here, you would check off Florida Life and Health, and then you just click Proceed to Student Profile. You register with them. Now, not on this page, but when you go to pay, I won't register, but you can fill in the blanks on your own. But when you go to pay, if you put in code HAA as the coupon code, they were nice enough to give viewers of this presentation a $10 off registering. So it would take the total from what is currently at the time of this video production $149. It'd take off $10, so that make it $139. So that was really nice of them to offer that. And again, they've got great customer service. They've got a great product, and they do have, as I showed you, a much higher than average pass rate. So that means you're giving yourself a better chance of passing, because it is kind of scary that the state's passing is only about 50%. So it is a tough test. So you're definitely setting yourself up for success by using a good company with a good curriculum. All right, so once you're about halfway through this, and one of the things I also like about License Coach and some of the other similar companies that do online courses is that you can do it at your own speed. Now, once you get about halfway through and going at your own speed, what you want to do is you want to register for a couple other things. First of all, you want to register for your fingerprints. You do have to get fingerprinted. This, and I've got the link again below. This particular company is the only company the state of Florida allows you to use for fingerprinting. So if you've gotten your fingerprints through like a local law enforcement, or through, or actually if you've gotten it through this company and it's been over a year, or you got your fingerprints through this company and it wasn't for the Department of Financial Services, regardless of even if it was just last week, it doesn't count. You have to register through the Florida Department of Financial Services link, which of course I've got down below, and you have to you basically have to make sure that not a year goes by from the time you have your fingerprints to the time that you're getting licensed. So in most cases, most people are going to still have to get their fingerprints, even if they've had fingerprints for a variety of other reasons recently, unless it, of course, is for financial services. Then the fingerprints would be applicable. But first thing you would do here is you would just go ahead and, John Doe. You'd go ahead and register yourself. You put in your zip code 34994, one I'm just making up. You can put in, of course, your own local zip code, and it would show you what's available. There tends to be quite a few slots available. You could just click here, click the schedule, pick whatever time works for you, click go. They tend to be at UPS stores, from what I've noticed, although see also Paramount Training Services. So there's a few other different places you may have to go to get it done. Just bring your photo ID with you. You sign up here, and you'll be all set. So just make sure, of course, that you pay for the fee, which is in the neighborhood of around $50. I don't remember the exact dollar amount. But you register, you get your fingerprints taken, and then, of course, they send that off to the Department of Financial Services. All right, so then what you're also going to do when you're about halfway through is I'm going to recommend that you sign up for your exam. Now, this is different than what the state recommends. The state recommends that you wait until you've passed the practice test that comes with the pre-licensing course. Now, what I've found is there tends to be about a 2 to 3 week wait in most cases in order to get a slot to take the exam. So what I would do, and I've got, again, the link down below, is I would go ahead and just schedule it. Now, confirm with what their cancellation policy is, but at the time of this this recording, it's about 48 hours. So what I would do is when you go to register for the class, or excuse me, register for the exam, go ahead and put it on your calendar when it is, and then 3 days before that, also put it on your calendar to confirm that you've finished the course and finished and passed the exam that comes with the practice exam, I guess you could call it, that comes with your pre-licensing course. And then if you need to reschedule it, you can reschedule it at the time of this recording. I've not ever seen them charge anyone for that. And again, you can check their cancellation policy. But what you would do is you would just go to here for test takers, and you would go down here to click F. Now you can see that this particular company does exams for all kinds of variety of reasons, which is why they do fill up. It's not just people taking the insurance test. So what you would do is you would click on here, Florida Department of Financial Services, and then you would just create an account or sign in if you already had an account with them, but most likely if this is new, you would have to create a new account. And then what you would do is you would just register for the 215 exam. Just make sure you are registering for the right exam and that you are making sure that you pick the right location nearby you. There are a variety of locations around the state. You want to make sure that you've got the time of whatever time for your test. And then just know that it's going to take probably about a 3-hour block of time is approximately what they block for you, which is one of the reasons why it fills up so quickly as well. Now, you saw what a long list of different reasons somebody might take the exam at the testing center, even if it's not for financial services. So you want to make sure to go ahead and get this scheduled ahead of time. And again, if you need to reschedule it, you can always reschedule it, but get it on the calendar. And it also, what I've found is it helps you because now you're going to have to hold yourself accountable to getting the class done that much faster. Now, the state is going to recommend that you wait until after you're already done with the course. And again, I think the reasoning for doing that is to making sure that you can at least pass the preliminary course. But I'm going to go on a limb, and that if you're watching this video and you're doing your due diligence, you're going to put in the time and effort on the course. And so there's no sense waiting for it, because if you wait, then let's say it takes you an extra week or two to finish the course from the time you're about halfway done with it. Then now you're just waiting an extra week or two before you can schedule the exam, which means you're spending another week or two waiting that you ended up on the back end could have been selling and starting to make money off of your new license. So I wouldn't wait. I'd go ahead and get it scheduled. And again, 2 to 3 days out, if you need to reschedule, just reschedule. And they're pretty good about working with people. Sometimes they even do have cancellations, and you can slot in a new time, just as you may be having to reschedule later, which may or may not happen. But if you do, you can always just change up a new time, and someone else might have a different time that they need, and so that gives the ability to reschedule for maybe a couple days after your test was originally scheduled. But at least get it on the calendar so that way you know it's coming. All right, so then my recommendation of what you would need to do is register with the state. So you have to register with the state, and you can just go over here to click here to apply, and I have the link down below. And you would set up an account, which you can set up a profile with the state at any point, but I do recommend waiting until you've passed the course before you register your application for your license with the state, because you have to at least pass the pre-licensing course. It is one of the questions on the application. Now, when you fill out the application, there's all kinds of different crazy questions on there. Many of the questions, they're looking for a no with your background. Now, if any of those are yes, my recommendation is be honest. I've seen all kinds of different situations with people who, as long as they're honest and upfront with the state, it never hurts to be honest, but it does hurt to not disclose something. So whenever in doubt, disclose something. You can always call the state as well if you do have any questions. But for the most part, it's pretty straightforward, and you'll see when you do it. And there is a application fee. Now, then what you're going to do is you're going to, at this point, hopefully have finished your course, applied with the state, and then it's now going to be time to take your exam. And so when it's time to take your exam, you're probably going to get a little nervous if you're anything like me. I mean, I was crazy nervous. Now, I did pass the first time, which I hope you do as well. And if you use a good licensing course company, such as License Coach, you give yourself a pretty good shot at it. And I really think that from what I've seen, a lot of agents put pressure on themselves, or potential agents, I guess I should say, put pressure on themselves to pass the course, and sometimes make it harder on themselves. Just remember, every single person who's selling insurance has taken the licensing course. if you have to, for whatever reason, take the when I say they've taken the course, they've also passed the exam. So if you, for whatever reason, have to take the exam multiple times, I've seen a lot of really smart people have to do it. And you know what? In the end, they ended up passing. And that's why they have their license. So don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just take it seriously. Study hard. My recommendation is don't try to just memorize the terms and the concepts. Try to put them in your own words, especially if you're getting tripped up on something. Write it down, whatever it is, licensed coach is, giving you, or whoever the pre-licensing course is, but whatever you're being taught, write that down in the way they're saying it, and then write that down in your own words, in words that make sense to you, because that's going to help it stick more in your mind. So, and then if something's really complicated, try to explain it to somebody, especially to somebody who's not in insurance. If you can explain something to someone who has no background in insurance in a way that they understand what you're talking about, chances are you understand the subject matter. So with that being said, hopefully you pass the exam. Now, when you go to take the exam, just know they have you take everything out of your pockets, and you do have to lock them up in a locker, and you have to raise your hand if you have to go to the bathroom. It's one of the crazy things, but we all had to do it at some point when we took our exam. But the nice thing is you get your results right away, and you even get to see what sections you did better on than others. So if you do have to retake the exam because you didn't pass the first time, you'll at least know what you did better on than other areas. So for example, maybe you did really well at group life, but you didn't do very well at individual health insurance, or whatever sections were being covered on that particular exam. So you know where you need to go back and study some more. So with that being said, hopefully you pass and everything, and then you're ready to get your career going. Now, my recommendation is I run a site at healthagentacademy.com, and really they're just trying to help other agents succeed and do well. So if you liked this presentation, I'm going to ask that you do me a favor and either like or leave a comment on YouTube, or just share this with a friend if you know of anyone else who's looking to get licensed. And I wish you the best of luck in your new career in insurance, and take care, and hope this has been a successful and good career for you as it has been for me. Take care.